Indiana cleaning out basements and pumping water. Our weather expert tells us how ice storms became rainstorms in only a week.
And we'll tell you how this year's first big rain affected the Muncie community and some of its furry residents. All that and more coming up right now.
Live from this is NewsLink Indiana.
A week ago we had ice. 3 days ago we were dealing with multiple inches of snow. Now the Muncie community is cleaning up after a powerful storm rocked the area last night. Good evening, I'm Adam Fox.
And I'm Lauren Byrne. Lindsay Moisner joins us now. So Lindsay, what did we see roll through last night?
Well, we had everywhere from torrential downpours, heavy lightning, high gusting winds. I think what most predominantly affected the Muncie area was that rainfall, where we had upwards of 6 inches of rain throughout the evening tonight. Actually, we had one of our own weather forecasters send in a video here showing of what it sounded like last night when these storms rolled through. And that was just some sounds of what we heard here in Muncie. The tornado sirens did go off. No tornadoes reported here, but there was an EF1 reported down in Ingalls, Indiana, 100-mile-per-hour wind gusts associated with that. Our high actually occurred around midnight when the storms rolled through. 60 was the temperature. Right now we're at 31. Have warming in the forecast. I'll have details coming up in a few minutes.
If you took a look around this afternoon, it was clear that the storm had a devastating effect for almost everyone in the area.
That's right, Lauren, and even while firefighters were helping rescue residents, some at the McCullough Park Fire Station had to worry about moving to another base because of the high waters. Now, cars plowed through heavily flooded roads and intersections today. The high water hampered residents from evacuating to their basements when the tornado sirens went off. Now, Eric Shoemaker worked hard to make sure the water in his basement didn't get out of control. He tells us that he's been pumping out water since 2:30 this morning. To his surprise, so many others were as well.
We called Walmart at like 4 o'clock in the morning trying to get a shop vac, and they were sold out. So we were actually bailing with buckets until our landlord brought a shop vac over, and then it's a 12-gallon shop vac, and we emptied it at least 30 times.
While some were cleaning their homes today, workers at the Animal Rescue Fund were looking for help as well.
The ARF Animal Shelter is underwater still after last night's storm ruined all of its supplies.
If you would like to donate pet food or cleaning supplies, please contact the Boyce Animal Hospital in Muncie.
A former assistant principal has been named intern principal at Muncie Central High School. William E. Jones replaced former principal Chris Smith, who was reassigned to the Muncie Area Career Center following a critical quality review by the state. Jones worked as the high school's associate principal from 2004 to 2006 and as Muncie Community Schools interim assistant superintendent from 2009 to 2010. While Muncie Community Schools made changes to their administration, they are also revising their current security plans to ensure the safety of students, faculty, and staff. Faculty and staff are important in creating a sense of safety at Muncie schools. Administrators want students and parents to be a part of the action plan for security enhancement. They will also hold local meetings to have contact with local officials.
The pilot who died in a small airplane crash near Connorsville last week has been identified as 47-year-old James Robert Saver of Indianapolis. Indiana State Police say the aircraft crashed in a field in Fayette County at 8:16 p.m. Wednesday. Saver was the only person aboard the twin-engine 1976 Cessna aircraft. The cause of the crash is under investigation by the Federal Aviation Administration and the National Transportation Safety Board. A Purdue University student died over the weekend after being injured in another plane crash. 22-year-old Tony Cole was pronounced dead Saturday at Indianapolis Hospital. He was critically injured on February 15th when Cole was flying a plane with a fraternity brother. The plane crashed in a wooded area near Lafayette. The plane's other passenger was released from a Lafayette hospital last week.
Law enforcement all over the state will be cracking down and pulling over people who are drunk and who have unbuckled seatbelts. This project will start this Friday and run through March 20th. State police say there were 41 deaths on Indiana highways in March of 2009. 24% of those deaths happened in crashes involving a drunk driver. The Indiana Latino Leadership Conference visited Ball State this weekend. The theme of the conference was identity and the goal to create leaders for the future. Newslink's Amberly Pressler has the story.
They are a small community with a big voice. This idea and many others were discussed to help empower Latino students to be heard on campus.
Coming up after the break, Indiana legislator is moving for a same-sex marriage ban while Facebook begins letting users list same-sex relationships.
And more students are taking Ball State courses in their PJs. We'll take a look at the growing trend. Stay tuned. Same-sex marriage, a topic that is at the forefront of the nation's mind as Indiana legislator tries to pass a state constitutional measure banning same-sex marriage, just as Facebook begins recognizing civil unions and domestic partnerships.
Savannah Teagarden joins us in the studio with more. Savannah?
Thanks, guys. Indiana just passed a first step in approving a state constitutional amendment banning same-sex marriage. All but one Republican in the House voted to pass the constitutional ban. College Republican representatives say they want BSU students to know that not all Republicans are against same-sex marriage, even with the overwhelming majority who voted to pass the measure.
Thanks, Savannah. Now get out your laptops and cast your vote. The Ball State Student Government Association elections have started today. Campus Voice and Catalyst are the two groups on this year's ballot. Campus Voice wants to expand the Cardinal Cash system and to increase Charlie Charter's hours. Now, Catalyst hopes to work with Muncie schools and help build leaders. Voting is online at bsu.edu/webapps/votebsu. Polls will close at 6:30 p.m. tomorrow evening. Could lecture halls become a thing of the past? Sarah Finney tells us about the future of online education.
The clicking of a keyboard could soon replace the chatter in a classroom. In Muncie, I'm Sarah Finney, Newslink, Indiana.
Now we send it over to Kaylee Russell for a look at tomorrow's headlines from our partners at the Ball State Daily News.
Kaylee, what will we see tomorrow on newsstands?
Well, Adam, I've taken a look at the headlines, and there are a few to highlight. Newslink's Savannah Teagarden will have more information about this in the Daily News. All that and more coming up in tomorrow's Ball State Daily News on newsstands across campus or online 24 hours a day at bsudailynews.com.
Well, coming up next, find out if spring weather will open up the first week of March.
And see how the men's basketball team is doing as the MAC tournament draws near.
Well, you know, Adam, it was crazy how winter quickly turned into spring.
Crazy.
Now let's check with Lindsay Moisner to see if we'll be seeing more spring weather or winter weather.
Looks like spring right now, and really that transition we're seeing all the melting snow and ice that was out there and a mixture of heavy downpours with the thunderstorms that rolled through last night. The mixture of those two led the National Weather Service to prompt much of central Indiana to be under a flood warning week, but then we are looking at another rain shower starting to form in for Friday and into Saturday as another system starting to build in. But story the next couple of days will be right around average, so it'll be nice.
Well, thanks, Lindsay. Coming up after the break, Ball State's football schedule for next year was announced today.
And later on in entertainment, see who took home an Oscar at the Academy Awards last night in Hollywood. Don't go away.
Good evening and welcome to Newslink Indiana Sports. I'm Brad Huber. It was a busy weekend with Ball State basketball, the Indiana Pacers, and the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series all in action. But first, the Ball State basketball team continues to roll as the win snapped a 66-race winless streak for Indiana native Jeff Gordon, in which his last win was in April of 2009. The next race will be in Sin City at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway on Sunday. So a lot of news going on this weekend. Looking forward to seeing how Ball State men's basketball does, and then football, looking forward to the new coach and see what Coach Limbo can do next year.
And with the beginning of March, that means March Madness is around.
Absolutely.
Right around the corner.
And we'll be right back after this with a little bit of entertainment news coming up here on Newslink.
Good evening and welcome to Newslink Indiana Entertainment. I'm Brittany Tyner. Ball State Sigma Nu fraternity held its 9th annual Miss Greek pageant Saturday at Pruis Hall. Thanks for watching Newslink Indiana Entertainment. I'm Brittany Tyner.
And now for a final look at weather. Lindsay, are we going to dry up a little bit so the water tables can get low?
We are, thank goodness. I think the ground is as saturated as it can be for the next couple of days. Plenty of sunshine looking all the way into Thursday. Highs are going to be right around normal for this time of year, getting up near 50 degrees on Thursday, 48. We'll be in the 50s on Friday before some more rain, but it's not looking like it's going to be a big rain event, just a few showers here, but hopefully most of us will be out on spring break by then.
Well, it should be fun to not walk around and having soggy socks, of course. Well, that's our newscast for tonight. You can find us here tomorrow at the same time and place.
Until then, have a good night and a pleasant tomorrow.